I think mostly the concerns that I'm hearing now is about like what's happening in the world a little bit more. Black Lives Matter, seeing Black bodies being harmed either by police or in communities. Um, Police interaction is a huge one that I think they all are concerned about. But I think socially, a lot of my students are becoming more mindful of social justice issues because they see it a lot. Yeah, so I think a lot of the questions have just been around why is this happening to us? Why does this continue to happen? I think a lot of times they feel maybe the problem is bigger than what they can impact, so we talk about how to get involved. For our Bridges group, we had them, if they were mayor, how would they address what was going on in the city in terms of like protests, police interaction. So we did a whole group around that and really just give them space to talk about how they feel and to process the feeling, the feelings that come up with seeing a Black man being knelt on his neck, or what does it feel like? Some of this feels like it's not new because a lot of our clients live in at-risk communities. So they have a lot of police interaction and they have seen police brutality and felt what that feels like. And but I think it's affected all of us, right? Seeing it every day, seeing it on the news, seeing it more and more. I don't think for them or for me it's anything new, but it's just the amount, the rate of what you're seeing. We all knew it was happening. So I think just giving them, creating space for them just to talk about how they feel is a huge thing because it's a traumatic thing. It's a traumatic thing to witness, whether you see it with your own eyes or you see it on video, it's very traumatic. So the most important thing I think is to just create the space for them to process and talk about it.
Here's a colleague asked, what happens, actually in Kalu and Bridges, what happens if you're approached by a Caucasian person and they seem to be a little forceful? And one of the things that I always tell them is, if they're not asking you to do anything to degrade you, if they ask you to move along and their voice is a little strong, just move. Don't do anything to make them react in a negative manner. Keep it pushing, go wherever you're trying to go, and just keep the peace. There's one of the young men who are in the Bridges group that actually went out to protest, and he took pictures of it, and he enjoyed it. And there ended up being an issue where the police became a little forceful. And he told me that, Mr. Josh, I did what you said. I wasn't part of the problem, I was part of the solution. And what he ended up doing was he told his friends, let's go, it's getting out of hand, let's move around. I don't want to see any of you get hurt. I don't want to get hurt. And they exit stage left and everything ended up being okay. A lot of my younger students are afraid to walk the streets because they're afraid that they might be approached by police officers or things of that nature. And they can just be walking from their friend's house or walking from the park. So they decide to stay at home. And I tell them, I can't tell you what you can and cannot be afraid of. But if you're doing what you're supposed to do, then everything will be fine. If you're too nervous to step outside, you all have been playing video games. Continue to do that. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Other than that, one thing that a lot of my Bridges kids have an issue with is their appearance. Unfortunately, we live in a time now where you're talked about based on your appearance. So I tell the young men, you can't walk around in today's world with your pants sagging and not think that you can be labeled in a negative way. And it's unfortunate, but that's just the world we live in. And your appearance means everything. And the thing is, the young men that are in my bridge group, they're all good young men, no issues, but they dress the way that's comfortable for them. And unfortunately, that's not gonna put a positive light in your direction. It's gonna label you in a negative way. So that's what we see.
Social justice issue and inequality, I think forging a relationship with the Chicago Police Department is crucial. And the reason why I say it's crucial is because, like echoing the sentiment of Charles Dickinson when he says that the best of time and the worst of time, I think we're dealing with that right now. And I believe that with the cultural sensitivity things that's going on with the social injustice, the Black Lives Matters movements, inequality, I think that we have to be open to different things, as well as the police stations have to be open to more receiving and not just being judgmental when it comes to our youth. I think we have to have empathy, and I think we have to build that bridge, because it's unfortunate. Growing up, I know that I used to look at police officers, white police officers, as being racist. Now it's a little different. Now, Black young students and youth look at the color blue, police in general, as being racist, discriminating things. So I think that we can address those issues. We can hopefully savor and save the future of our youth, as well as our police force, by trying to merge them. All police, just like all Black people, are not that.